Good evening, everybody. I have seen that there is a request in the beginner's house in the Discord for Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide asking for a bit of a tutorial on what to do if you are a bit too low level, you think, to start tackling Kefka's tower. Maybe you got your unlock a little too early and are trying to figure out how to get through it without having to push the skip. Well, the way to do so would be to rush your entire party to the far right side, which will eventually become the middle of the tower. This allows you to have your entire party stacked, where you're going to fight the Inferno spot, and then move on up through the middle, taking the Guardian spot, and finally the statue. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that for you, so you can understand sort of how it goes. When it comes to my party currently, it's definitely shortcut ready, but we're not going to do that today. We're just going to go straight to Kefka's tower here. I'm going to go ahead and go in. So again, what we're looking to do, let's assume we don't have statues. We're going to go into the regular entrance. We are now going to stack our party up on the right. Now I got to remember which party members are which, since this is an older seed. It'd be those ones. So full party on the right. And you can honestly just have one character on each on the other ones. So we're going to do a simulated run through here. We'll go all the way up through the middle, and actually we'll clear all the way up through Kefka's tower. It shouldn't take more than 10-15 minutes. Give you an idea of exactly how to handle this particular situation. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit here, and we're going to go ahead and get our Moogle Charms equipped. I like to do the right side first. It just kind of feels better that way when you're routing this tower out. So we'll go ahead and get started. I know I have a Moogle Charm on these guys, so first thing, we're going to go through the whole right side. And while you're doing this, you can opt to take dragons as well. I'll show you that even going this route, you can take the, you should be able to take the left side dragon as well as the right side dragon. I'm pretty sure this party is really strong, so normally you should probably save here, and then go on over here, and we'll take the Inferno spot. So let's go ahead and take care of this. We have Goddess, so it'll be a little bit long, but I'm pretty sure Celis is a attacker. Let me just, I should have looked at my equipment first. Ragnarok Illumina, yeah, that should get the job done well enough. Except for that Pearl proc. I'm going to skip a little bit. Looks like we're not really doing much with our Sabin, which isn't really particularly surprising. Looks like pretty much this whole party was just the Celis party. Which, of course, she is the best girl. I don't know if I got love tokens. We're going to find out real fast. Looks like we didn't. Alright, so down she goes. Go ahead and skip. Alright, so after you finish off Inferno spot, we're going to head on down and finish our route. So first thing you have to do is go down here and hit this chest. It'll bring the bridge up for another one of your parties. And then head up over here where you're going to find the right side dragon. Typically, if you're coming up this way because you feel underpowered, you should go ahead and take that dragon. But we're going to skip it today and continue our way over. So we'll get to the first switch over here, and then we're going to switch over to our next party. Now, because there's no enemies with the Moogle Charms and there's no bosses in these routes, you don't have to worry about their safety. You just have to route it out, get over to the next switch, whereupon we will switch over to the next character. Well, this one's actually going to go to the middle, but you'll see exactly how to route it as we go. Alright, we're going to go down here, and this is where there is a switch. And lastly, we're going to go to the middle party, who's going to open that up for them on the way through. Now, if you were looking to get the skip, putting your whole party in the middle, where Sabin is right now, you can actually get two separate checks. You can come up here, and you can take Toilet Atma. So that would be one check. So this is all assuming you have 20 checks and you're going for the skip. Put everybody in the middle, you take Toilet Atma, get your high tier item, save if you need to, and continue on. Whereupon you'll go ahead and kill the dragon as well, which would be your 20-second check, and you can warp out. But that's not what we're demonstrating here today. I'm going to push this switch here, head on up, and this right here is where the left side dragon is, and I will demonstrate how you can actually get here with your right side party. That way you can take both dragons if you want to get a little bit of extra power. So, and continue up here, we'll push the switch and then run straight down. And then we're going to switch and realm straight down and over. And this is why I say it feels better. I get to put them both right there as we go, and we don't have to worry about moving them after we get to the weights. So we'll continue on with Edgar here. And you might be thinking, but physics, this is taking him up the middle. It is temporarily, but we have to do the wings first. So we're going to push him to the left. So first party to the left, push our weight down. So this is going to open up our other, dummy party with just Sabin and nobody else. And he's going to be forced to go to the right. So we're going to put him on the switch here. And then we take Sabin, and we're going to run him to the right. Push our weight down. And after this, we'll step on that. And this is where, instead of going north, you can actually go right back down these stairs. Let's go in reverse down the left side here. And you'll find you come right up on left side dragon. So you are free to take both dragons if you need some, you have some spells you want to learn on multiple characters, or you just need more levels. That's the way to do it. Take both dragons. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and take Realm right here in the middle. And we'll push the switch there to open up the sides. And then we take her right up the middle. This way you don't have to worry about only having 2 characters, you'll have all 4 characters. So go ahead and just knock this all out. Again, this is kind of the Celis party, so we're just going to let it be the Celis party. Yeah, it looks like my other characters aren't really doing much. I know I finished the seed pretty quick, so I think I just made Celis win the game for me. Sometimes it is like that. So get rid of that one. We're going to go ahead and go forward. Don't forget your validation chest. And get the statue here. A couple of cranes, not really worried about that. Again, Celis party. I'm just going to fast forward until I win. There we go. Alright, so I've effectively cleared the entire middle of Kefka's tower. So we no longer have to worry about those bosses. So, after that, you can save if you want to, but honestly, you don't have to. What we're going to do is go ahead and warp out, and that's assuming I have warp stones. Good, I didn't check first. So we're going to go ahead and warp out. And now we're going to go in one more time. So we're going to reform. Now that we know the center is clear and we've gotten rid of Inferno at the Inferno spot, we can just send a dummy down the right side now, and we can distribute our party among the left and middle. So I know Celis can go on her own over here. It's fine. She's going to win the game for me no matter what. And Realm, Shadow, and Lock right here in the middle, because, again, I know that Terra can just do her thing. I am going to fill up this party, though, so that there's other targets just in case it's spicy. But we can do this, too. We only need 1 character here because there's no enemies to worry about. So let's go ahead and drop in. And we're going to repeat the whole process. We're just going to make sure that we have a Moogle Charm user in each team here. So we don't have one on the left right now. It's in one of the other parties, but that's no big deal. So Lock. Yeah, we'll just take that off a Lock. And this one must have a Moogle Charm, so we're going to go. I'm going to make sure, actually, just to make sure. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go ahead and go through the exact same process again. I'm not going to fast forward this so you can see the route as I go through, sort of how to navigate this whole area. You don't need to save before the Inferno spot either, because again, this is extremely safe. So you really only need to save once you get past the first statue down the middle. So same deal, just going to repeat the whole process one more time. So I'll stop talking at you, except for remember to push the switch in the treasure chest because it's not shining anymore. And then continue on your way. And I forgot. That's annoying, but that's okay because this is the busted team. I forgot that this team did not have the Moogle Charm just yet, so let's go ahead and equip that. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen and move along to the next. Switches. Now the downside is that if that would have happened on my previous run, they probably would have just died because they're extremely low level, not my main party. So you want to make sure, if it's one of your teams that doesn't have any levels, you really want to make sure that they have their Moogle Charms equipped. Because it can be catastrophic to get into an encounter and just die, and you lose a whole lot of time that way. Alright, moving right along, past Toilet Atma. Gotta make sure to drop the bridge here. And then we go ahead and put them both up on the stairs so they're ready and out of the way of the weight. And now our so-called middle party is going to head over here to the left. So we're basically following the same thing. It's this particular party is always going to head to the left, the next one's going to head to the right, and then the party that you had on the far right is going to go up the middle. So you kind of want to just do it the same every time. That way you don't make a mistake and put them in the wrong side. Just know that the right side is always going to end up in the middle, as long as you make sure the first person across that middle bridge section goes to the left. If I went to the right, things could get a lot more, could be a little bit more sketchy. Because my big party, or my weak party would end up on the right. And that's not what we want. Alright, so again, we've already cleared this entire area out, but we do need to make sure that we go down here and open up the doors for the 2 wings. Make sure to get that, and then head on up, and we're going to go right up to the statue spot and then save. Again, don't worry about saving at all these save points. It is 100% safe. You can't die, so don't waste the time saving. But do save right here. So this is where we'll go ahead and save. And we'll switch over to our next party. The Celis one-man wrecking crew, so let's go ahead and finish that up. It's Doom, which is actually hilarious. We don't really have to worry about it as long as he doesn't North Cross us. He did try to North Cross us, but he's dead, so it doesn't really matter. Alright. Okay, so we're done here. This is where you can go ahead and do your last bit of equipping. You can go ahead and check your espers, heal up with your sleeping bags, all that good stuff. I'll go ahead and save, and we go on up to our switch. Now we're on our right side. We'll take our 3-man party over here. Normally you would do 2 and 2, but Celis is just such a force of nature that there's no reason to put anybody with her but some meat shields. And this one, I mean, we should have no issues. I kind of wish I knew what I was doing with these guys, but it looks like I'm just throwing Ice 3 out, so I feel like Atma Weapon might actually absorb that, which would be problematic. I feel like he does. No, he doesn't. Okay, good. But we're going to go ahead and Flare, and I think we're just going to have to Ice 3 on her as well. Do I have any shields? That might be just a way to crank through this since this is a demonstration and I'm not actually fighting Kefka. Go ahead and throw a Thunder Shield at him here. Fast forward, doesn't really matter that much. Flare. I think this should probably finish him off once these are done. Alright, cool. So once you finished off that side, that statue is going to clear out. And same deal, go ahead and get your equipping done, get your healing done with your, get your sleeping bags done here. Check all your espers, do all your equipping, all that good stuff. Get it all done with. And head on up to your switch. And then you'll be right back at the middle. Go ahead and save. And you are now starting Kefka. So that way you're able to get the whole middle done much safer with your whole party. You can clear 2 dragons at the same time, and it just powers up your whole crew, so you can go 2 and 2 on the wings. Now, what happens if you don't have warp stones? Unfortunately, you won't really be able to take use, make use of this particular strategy because your whole party has to go all the way through the tower. So you could walk out, but it kind of negates the reason for doing this entirely. But you can do the full middle technique if you wanted to, without using without having warp stones. So let's assume you were at 20 checks and you wanted to get your last 2 checks. So this is what we'll do. And we're going to pretend we don't have any warp stones. It's no big deal. We're going to go on in here. We're going to stack our full crew in the middle. So we're going to take Locke, Celis, Realm, and I believe Shadow. And then we just put 1 on either side. It doesn't really matter because we're not actually going to use them at all. They're just going to sit there. And that's what makes this perfectly viable to do. You only lose a few, 5 or 10 seconds or so at most. But you'll take your middle party here, and apparently I wasn't paying attention and I didn't equip my Moogle Charm. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be that long of a walk anyway. So I'm just going to hold A. Alright. So you got your Toilet Atma up there. You would just go through and kill him. And you come on down here. Don't mind me fast forwarding all over the place. Just trying to speed it up a little bit. And then you'll head down here. Head all the way up. And you'll kill your dragon. So your dragon will be right here, and that'll be your 20-second check. Just switch and then smash A. So I'm just going to hit A a lot, and that hook is going to come on down. And you're out. So that's the way to get around that if you don't have warp stones. Unfortunately, without warp stones or the warp spell, if you're going to do the full right side and then warp out and do the 2, unfortunately you must have some form of warp. So make sure while you're going around, you're always looking for warp stones or a warp spell on somebody. But that is it. I hope that helps anybody who is watching this video understand how to do full right side strats to make Kefka's tower safer on an early unlock on low levels. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. And I will see you on the next one. Y'all take care.